Our next topic: why do most Americans feel broke? Despite record breaking economic growth and rising wages, most Americans still feel broke. Why? Because the cost of living continues to rise, financial pressure increase, and wages often fail to keep up. But there's another hidden factor: the language of poverty that shapes our financial mindset. The words we use around money can reinforce financial stress. Constantly saying I'm broke can rewire your brain to expect scarcity, while reframing your perspective can shift your financial habits. This segment breaks down the economic and psychological reasons why most Americans feel financially stuck and explores strategies to break out of that cycle, both mentally and practically. Let's dive into this topic. Why do most Americans feel broke?
Man,
Do you feel broke?
I don't feel broke personally because I operate off of the dictionary version of it. However, I do respect brother Dave Ramsey's definition of broke. So according to his definition, I would be broke, um, which I do respect. But as far as how I feel, I don't feel broke because I'm not penniless. But I do know that I can be doing a lot better financially.
I think we all can, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's always room for
unless
for
you're
growth and
Elon
improvement.
Musk or Bezos.
But even I mean, them is from what I'm seeing, them is the guys that never think that they're enough is not enough is enough, but that they can do better. You know what I mean? Because they're always trying to do something different, some new idea, buy some new business, vertically integrate. But then that's the job of a capitalist at the end of the day, working above the business.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back down to more of a practical citizen level, I was what inspired this topic was just kind of like again scrolling through them digital streets, and actually came across the video. And actually, let's show that video right now, real quick, just so we can set the stage for what we're gonna be discussing.
Huh? Say what you said again. Because we're going to get all this on tape. Say what you said.
If we were married, you got this amazing credit score, right?
800.
Okay. And
this is what poverty does to your brain. Listen to this. Go ahead.
No, we're not doing this. Cut it off.
Now you don't want to talk. You was talking so confidently a minute ago.
How was that? No, because they going to say, oh, that's the girl.
They don't know who you are. You ain't on the camera. So go ahead and say what you was going to say. Say what you just said a minute ago.
Okay, you got this amazing credit score, right?
I got an 800 credit score. And I worked very hard, and my mama helped me get that credit score. She helped me pay my car.
Now, say if your wife wanted to die for a purse, that's $2,000.
There ain't no purse on planet Earth worth dying for, but go ahead. That's $2,000.
You gonna die if you buy me that bad?
No, that's not the point. It ain't no purse on planet Earth that important.
I said to die for. Like it's not something that you would get me like every year. Chuck, get me a purse every year. No, it's something that I'm in love with. Maybe it's Mother's Day coming up. Maybe it's my birthday coming up. Maybe it's Christmas.
Okay.
You can't get that for me?
So you want me to use my 800 credit score to get a purse, to go in debt to buy a purse?
You're going to be in debt. You're going to be in debt if you get that purse.
What was the point of bringing up my credit score?
Because you can go and swipe for it.
Right. So that's what poverty does to people's brains. Right? You want me to, if I don't have $2,000 in my bank account, why would I go and buy a $2,000 object on a credit card? That's what most people in America do. That's why most people in America is poor. This right here.
That's funny.
Yes.
That was funny to me because it's like
the language of poverty, like you said, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I've noticed that when people don't get what they want or that dopamine hit because they didn't get that gift for that, again, they're anticipating this reward, this purse, this car, this trip, this cash app, whatever it is.
In that case, the purse,
right? And so again, it's just since now they're in this anticipation, it's clouding their thinking. It's just foggy, they operate in the fog now. So because the biggest thing I took away from that video was the fact that she didn't associate with him having credit and swiping with it turning into debt.
No, she didn't.
It's like she didn't, like them dots wasn't connected in her mind.
Not at all.
In her mind, she thought that just because he had an 800 credit score and he loved her, or that they was married, that he has the ability to go get her what she wants when she wants it.
Right.
And if he doesn't want to do it, then now he's broke or he's whatever. She didn't say that per se, but that's what we've heard in other cases. But no, ma'am, it's not a matter of him being broke, him being stingy, him not being generous. And as he said, it's about him being smart with money. If I don't have $2,000 in cash in my bank account, that means I do not have the money to afford this $2,000 purse. It doesn't matter if I have 800 credit score and a credit card to swipe. That doesn't, because again, if we are using our credit correctly,
Right. That part.
then whatever we charge up on that card per month is to be paid off that month.
It
So
should be paid
if we
off
run
that
up 2
month.
bands on a card, then we need to put 2 bands in payments on that card to avoid the interest payment.
Exactly.
But again, most of us think that, and I've been guilty of this myself. Y'all, I'll just pay the minimum payment and
No
all will be well. But it's just like, no, like now that $2,000 item, is going at 30%. I think we calculated it was going to be the $2,000 item was now is $2,600 or $3,400. It was one of them two numbers. I can't think off remember, but it's just more than the $2,000 that you thought that you paid for this item that she probably don't even care about no more and probably done sold at the Goodwill.
Right. And he like that point that he brought up. If you don't have the money in your account, that doesn't necessarily mean. Well, let me rephrase. If you don't have the money coming in that month,
Yeah,
to cover, because you might not have the money. That's the benefit of the credit card. Because I might not have it right here on Tuesday, but I know in
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks I'll have it, so I can get it now, and then when my money coming in 2 weeks, I go ahead and pay that off. That's how I kind of try to operate my credit cards. Because sometimes it's easy to just go ahead and swipe,
Just make the minimum payment,
and you deal with it, whatever. But like if you don't have it, you shouldn't be swiping it. Or if it can be recouped in that month, you probably should refrain from purchasing it.
Avoid at all costs.
I think so.
So going back to the ultimate topic, why do Americans feel broke? Well, part of the reason why they feel broke is because they, again, might not necessarily have the cash or credit to fulfill their immediate gratification of this reward that they want. And if they can't go to some man or some parent or some woman to go get the money or the credit to get it, then now they're feeling broke because I wasn't able to get the reward I wanted.
I think they feel broke because I'm going to, I like to bring it back to the topics. They feel broke because they trapped in this anticipation dopamine hit
cycle, right?
Cycle. And then they feel broke because when they acquire said thing, or don't acquire it, you feel like you're broke because let's use social media. You constantly seeing people projecting this lavish lifestyle,
this luxury lifestyle,
right. And you constantly seeing it, driving up your anticipation, driving up your dopamine, like oh yeah.
When I get that new G wagon, I'll be turning heads. Everybody goes, such as Lil Tay Tay will be on me.
So when you take a break from that and look at your reality, and you see, you see where I'm going.
I'm picking on what you're putting down.
Then you see your reality. You see the Toyota Camry that you're driving,
right? Instead of that G wagon,
after seeing a bunch of G wagons, Bugattis, whatever the case may be. When you see a bunch of, model bad bitches, yada, 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 then you look at, the little shorty you got, when you constantly seeing people with Louis Vuitton, MCM, whatever the case may be.
Or for the ladies, they go to the 6 foot and over page, and then they looking at the the big pudgy guys that they wear.
You constantly seeing, the Versace, Van Cleef, all that stuff, and then you look at your closet and don't
Oshkosh Bagosh.
Even that costs money.
Oh, that the Oshkosh is good. I mean, considered a luxury item now.
I mean, not luxury, but it's good for like
it's pricey.
Yeah, it's
I remember Oshkosh Bagosh was like,
yeah. So when you get to the reality, your reality, that's why you feel broke. Because you constantly inputting images of luxury, lavish lifestyle, brands, labels. You constantly seeing that, on social media, and I'm using social media because that's the thing that kind of, that's the common denominator for all of us as we, go through life nowadays in 2025. It's social media. And so, and that's why you have to take a break from it. That's why you have to, like you said, chill on the screen time.
Yep.
Because it's diluting your thinking, is diluting your perception, and is making you hate your reality. So therefore, when you hate your own reality, that's when you have these remorseful feelings, these feelings of regret, these feelings of low self-esteem, feelings of being broke.
Yep.
And you feel less than. And you got to understand that there's a system going on. There's a cycle going on working. Not necessarily in your favor when you're constantly in this mode or cycle of anticipation and dopamine. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the reason why a lot of people feel broke.
Yep, I would agree with you on that one 100%. It's just, again, going back to dopamine management as well as stress management, because like we talked about during the stress episode, when we are scrolling through the digital streets and we are comparing ourselves to what we're seeing on these screens, which in 9 times out of 10 is a facade in and of itself, we do find ourselves creating stress or releasing cortisol instead of the dopamine. So now we stressing ourselves out, we winding ourselves up, getting upset, getting angry, like you said, easily irritable, aggressive, abrasive. But it's all because we
anticipating
the worst now, because it's just like, well, damn, this is what I want. I want this luxury life, or well, I want whatever I want. But then I see what I have, and I don't really see a clear path to getting what I want. So now I'm getting upset and angry, and I'm feeling stressed out because like I said, I don't see a clear path ahead, and I'm worried that I might not get that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I deserve it, so damn, I must be broke.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Which is crazy. Broke is relative, right?
Exactly.
And happy. I realize a lot of things is relative. Happiness, financial freedom, wealth.
Yep.
Being prosperous, like all that is relative to the individual.
I'm glad you said that R word, though, relative, because to your point, there are some people who don't feel broke, even though they getting all the assistance in the world. They feel rich enough to where they you know what? Let's just play the video real quick.
Got a DHS letter in the mail this morning, and I just now opened it. And somebody reported me to the state of Michigan because I'm making money on TikTok, and I drive a 2024 BMW. They have cut my food stamps from almost $4,000 a month down to $88 a month. They are telling me if I want a review that I have to sell my car. So you're telling me if you were on welfare, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, you can't drive a nice car? They are forcing me to sell my brand new BMW, or I lose almost $4,000 in food stamps. Not only that, they have taken my cash assistance totally away. They are telling me that Section 8 will no longer be paying 95% of my rent, only 10% of my rent. So I will have to pay a little over $400 a month now instead of $60 a month. They cannot.
Oh, it looks like the Doge got you too, boo.
Yo, that video is loaded with so much, like.
That's why I said some people don't feel broke, but I'm guarantee you somebody that felt broke is who reported her.
I mean,
somebody that went to work every day, probably got a regular job, and they looking at her life, comparing, like feeling stressed out, like damn, she's living my life, but I know she on food stamps, I know she on Section 8, I know she getting cash assistance. How is she able to live this life?
And I know, and she got a 2024
brand new
BMW.
Brand new. She made sure it's brand new.
Oh my God. She said somebody reported me. How about somebody that you stealing money from? Because if you are able to buy a brand new 2024 BMW, there is no way in the world you should be getting $4,000 in food stamps.
No way.
And you getting income from social media.
Income assistance, right?
You,
Well, right.
no,
right,
you got no. You got
she's making her own
yeah,
money.
you
Right.
getting money. You
Right.
getting paid.
Yeah.
So you got you getting paid enough money to buy a brand new BMW.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the money that's coming in is substantial.
Yes.
It's sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep putting out the content, whatever content you're putting out, you'll keep reaping the benefits of that.
Right.
Then she says they will no longer pay 95% of my rent. Like, bitch, how? What? They only gonna pay 10. They shouldn't be paying nothing.
Right.
And I bet the person that reported you is a person that's paying
100% of their rent.
the difference. No, they're paying
right.
because it comes from taxpayer dollars.
Right.
That ain't nothing.
But again, so technically, I guess from my perspective, that'd be doubling up then, because again, she's getting money from the taxpayer to pay for her lifestyle, and she's making money from TikTok to pay for her lifestyle. But then the taxpayer is also having to pay 100% of their lifestyle. So her lifestyle is being subsidized by people who don't get no subsidies, while she's still making money and to the point where she can afford to buy a brand new 2024
making more than
BMW.
That person that's paying the taxes.
Yes.
And giving to.
Man, Dr. Phil actually did a video about that. I didn't find it, but he actually did a point about that where he was talking about how it's almost better to be on government assistance because you can make more than if you had a regular full-time job.
Yes, but I mean, if they pay 95% of your rent, most of our expenses
is rent.
Is our rent,
yeah.
And food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of the average American working citizen money goes.
So if you was getting 95% of your housing and food subsidized, then to the point again, she's spending $4,000 a month on food. She says she's going to go from paying $60 in rent to $400 in rent. So her rent was only she's getting $4,000 in food. Her rent is about $500, $600. But again, because she don't gotta pay rent, because she don't have to spend money on food, now all that money that she admitted she's making on TikTok, that's how she's able to afford the lifestyle that the people who are relishing her lifestyle get to live.
It's a crazy dynamic, and then I like.
So she don't feel broke, but she about to feel broke.
Because I looked at the girl like this, like Doge got you too, girl, right? Yeah, they need to get her. They need to get it. Like a lot of people, this might be a little tangent, but a lot of people are like
freeloading.
Yeah, definitely freeloading, and everybody else that's an able body that's on these Section 8 programs and vouchers, and keep having kids to get more food stamps. Like you're freeloading,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are like upset that Trump is looking to minimize the length or the time that you could be on Section 8.
The exploitation of Section 8
is very
and welfare.
It's very much being exploited,
yeah.
And it's not fair, and it's just not right. I think. Like he said, if you're an able body and you could work now, we're not talking about people that are disabled, handicapped,
mm-hmm.
Senior citizens,
right?
Old or whatever the case may be. Those services are warranted. But if you're an able body and you just like don't want to do shit,
but be lazy, sitting on your ass all day
and getting high and playing
and
games,
on your digital, right,
and getting your dopamine hit, shooting up dope all day long
on your cell phone.
Right. And it's just like, how, Sway? Like, come on, how long do you think, like, you got your money's worth? If you've been on that for 10 years, you got your money's worth. So when he say, I cut it, you was able to work. I mean, you was able to live without paying rent and without buying groceries for 10 fucking years. You got more than your money's worth. Like, so there shouldn't be not a word from these motherfuckers when they say, all right, you got to come up off of that.
Well, that's the scam, as you already know. What they will do is like you said, these able-bodied Americans that are getting these welfare assistance programs, a lot of them, and like I said, we're not talking about the people who legitimately need it.
No, not at all.
But the ones that are, exploiting the system, I've known people to literally create business entities so that they can say on paper that they don't make them or they get paid, these minimum wage. They collecting cash from all their customers, so they can't show that they make what they actually making, or they can, doctor the books to say they only made what they made. So they can make themselves look poor on paper, quote unquote, or look broke on paper, so that they qualify for all the welfare benefits while they still making money. And so again, it's like doubling up. That's how they're able to, and that's why it's not good to compare yourself to others, as well as again, ever try to think that they're ahead of you, because again, you don't know what they doing to live that lifestyle. You just never know what someone's doing. The whole time, like I said, you quote unquote law-abiding, productive citizen, responsible adult, you out here quote unquote doing it the right way, and you're struggling, you feel broke. But then again, you don't know that this person you're comparing yourself to, again, they just scamming the system, or they selling drugs, or they in trafficking, or they doing something else,
or they straight lying, putting up a facade. I done seen plenty of people stand in front of cars that ain't theirs, and at people's houses that they ain't even been on the inside. They not even invited there. They don't even know whose house it is. But it's like, oh, everything is about the photo op.
Yep.
Everything is about the facade to put that image out there. It's like it's funny, like everyone is like a drug dealer. They putting out the product, the dopamine product.
Yeah.
They putting it out there for somebody else to come along and shoot it up and anticipate and get all high off.
So it's like a double effect in that the person the person posted the content, they get their dopamine hit off of the likes, but then the person consuming the content, they get their dopamine hit off of anticipating the reward of this lifestyle that they think this person that posted is living.
Yep,
it's crazy.
It's very intricate, and it's all connected.
So if you're just conscious of this dynamic, and then that means you will be in a better position to manage it, which means that you will now, be able to kind of have the superpower of being able to see through the fog and using that to your advantage in regards to not necessarily exploiting people's blind spots, but illuminating their potential to the superpower that they have if they just manage their anticipation.
Yeah. And be realistic, like, understanding that everything that glitter ain't gold. I think it's different for like our generation, because we grew up knowing, like, you can't believe everything you see. Like our grandparents and stuff told us stuff like that. Everything that glitter ain't gold. You can't believe everything you see. Believe that's why you only got one mouth and two ears. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to, what they say, you're supposed to believe what they say. Believe in none of what you hear and only half of what you see. You know what I'm saying? And you got one mouth and two ears. You're supposed to listen and observe twice as much as you speak. And so that's we grew up with all those type of what they call proverbs or words of wisdom, sayings, or
isms.
Yeah, isms, right? And that kind of is like embedded in our culture. So therefore, when
it was a part of our network of conversations.
Yeah.
And that isn't part of this newer generation's network of conversation, as we see in the videos, where there's the man or the woman ain't connecting, swiping credit and swiping a credit card to that accumulating debt, or thinking that you can live off government assistance and welfare and still be able to live a quote unquote, as she said, have nice things. It's just like, yeah, you can have nice things, but you got to go work for that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be getting assistance and doubling up by, then, like I said, going and making money on TikTok, but you using all that money to live this luxury lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's the money you need to be using to pay your rent and to buy your food like everybody else.
Right. And then like we were saying initially at the beginning of the topic, we have to support it with the right language as well. We have to speak things, like we said in the other episode, like the power of the tongue is
language, right?
And language,
how we use
and
language,
words
the word
is very powerful. That's how things are manifested.
Mm-hmm.
So if you constantly feeling broken, then you saying you broken, I don't got shit. You know what I mean? It's hard for me. Like it's tough. Like I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you gonna make is $1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy that you say it like that, because one of the things I've always wondered about, people that be asking for donations is, like I've seen people that are like, let me get a quarter, and it's just, all right, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Meantime, or I've had people, like I said, I done seen somebody like, oh man, like, let me give him, like, how much money? I only got $5. You know what? I can give him $5.
Mm-hmm.
But then he like, let me get a quarter, and I'm like, I don't got a quarter, and he walk off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to chase him down and give him the $5 because he just told me that he only wanted a quarter.
Yeah.
So again, to your point, words, language,
Mm-hmm.
it matters. So be mindful of what you're speaking into existence, what
Mm-hmm.
you're asking for. We got one more video specifically about that to describe the language of poverty. So let's go ahead and tap into that real quick.
It's called the language of the poor. What if this happens? And on top of that, if this was to happen, look at the fix I'd be in. I better not try. I could always ace myself out. Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. The Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go. Somebody says, yeah, but I'm looking for safety and security. Fine, then huddle in a corner.
So
that was powerful, Mr. Jim Rome.
Oh yeah, language is language is what separates the weak from the strong, the winners from the losers, is what I'm picking up.
Yes.
Like he's saying, it's like, oh, you can say all the negative stuff like, oh, what was me? Like, I don't got this and this. It's like, you can't go through life operating like that. You just gotta go and go forward and go do it. Like he said, it's risky.
It's all risky.
It's all risky. Everything is risk. Is risk taking risk, and is risk not taking risk.
Yep, it's all risky.
And I think I'd rather take the risk of taking a risk than the risk. What did he say? He said it costs if you take a risk, but wait till you get the bill for not taking a risk. Like, yeah, that comes with doubt, regret. I shoulda, I coulda, why didn't I?
Comparing yourself,
whatever the case would be. Like, you gotta take the risk. And I can speak from that. Like, when I moved to California, I bought a one-way ticket to California, and I had a carry-on bag. That's all I had. And March 1st, I've been here a few years.
Big risk, man. So that's, like I said, that's a big risk that a lot of people aren't willing to take. But the flip side of that is realizing really what he talked about in regards to, you got to do it. You know what I mean? You got to take the risk. And when it comes to feeling broke, part of working yourself out of that feeling is start taking risk. You're gonna have to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. So you're gonna have to stop prioritizing comfort and start prioritizing growth.
And you know what happened with Crippled Our Community? We have allowed people that don't want to take risks the ability to be comfortable and not taking risks, i.e. welfare, Section 8.
Right.
Those a lot of people, when you think about it, that's scared of taking the risk. They scared of going out there and getting it on their own.
And the basic risk of just, in most cases, just having a quote unquote regular job.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
they're scared of that. They're scared of taking the risk of, because we have a lot. Because when the guy said, if you don't want to take a risk, go in a corner somewhere and huddle in the ball. But I want to add on to that. If you want to go in a corner somewhere, it ain't up to us to make it comfortable for you in that corner.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you go in that corner if you want, but that don't mean you go in that corner and you over there getting food stamps, cash assistance,
because you feel broke.
Section 8 because you feel broke or you intimidated about life.
Yeah.
or scared or lazy, just point blank lazy.
Because actually, as you say that, that's really so like because again, brokenness ain't just for for the people on welfare. There's plenty of people that got fully able human beings, but to your point, they just lazy. And they lazy and they scared to take the risk.
Some smart people.
Yeah, a lot of smart people, but a lot of talented, a lot of skill, a lot of smart, but again, they're afraid to take that risk. That's why they feel broke. So again, to work yourself out of that feeling, those feelingness of brokenness, you gotta improve yourself. You gotta ascend. You gotta go through some level of moral, emotional, and mental development.
And you gotta try.
And you gotta, like you said, and there's nothing wrong with failing. Like I've made mistakes. I make them all the time. I make them every day. But what gives me the power to persevere and persist and prevail and keep moving forward is the fact that I'm willing to be accountable for myself. I'll say it myself, like you said, so that someone else don't have to say it for me. I made a mistake, and here's what I'm going to do to fix it. That way, I maintain my power to fix the problem, but also too just to maintain a sense of control moving forward as I'm driving down this highway of life, so that I can avoid crashing out.
Right. Avoid crashing out.
But a lot of people, they're willing to forfeit that control, or they just looking at somebody else drive while they driving and they running into shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they feeling, oh girl, don't you feel broke? Yeah, homie, I feel broke. But it's like, pay attention to the road ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you feeling broke does not mean you can stop paying attention, and you got it. And in this case, stop trying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So keep taking that risk. Because again, as you're driving down that highway of life, it's going to be full of risks. It's going to be some unexpected turns. It's going to be somebody that cuts you off. It's going to be some potholes that you didn't see. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some blind corners. But that's just what life is all about.
But sometimes you have to hit a pothole to pull over to the side of the road to change your tire for someone to come along with a jack to help you change that tire, and then that same person could change your life.
Yeah, because they gonna give you some game. You know what I'm saying?
Either way, that's what I've learned is we can't live life not expecting or thinking that we're going to avoid hurdles,
adversity,
potholes,
right,
or adversity.
Right.
But understanding that adversities and challenges are strategically implemented for our benefit, for our growth, for our expansion, for our knowledge, for our knowledge, our wisdom, our experience. It all works for the better of the individual that's going through. So don't shy from challenges. Don't be scared to take a risk. Because in taking that risk, you're doing what you're designed and created to do.
Exactly.
So therefore, you're actually in alignment with the universe. So therefore, as long as you're moving forward or moving, you could meet the opportunities and that the universe have for us. But if you're over in that corner, like he said, balled up, you're not going to engage into nothing. You're not going to intercept anything. You're going to continuously be over there, balled up, out the way, not even trying, and sitting there in your own mind thinking what you could have, should have, would have did.
Right.
Which is not a good place to be.
So lean into the risk. Lean into your feelings of broke to identify why you feel broke, and then once you got the list of things that you came up as to why you was broke, then take the risk of turning those negatives into positives. Literally, is but again, you can't make it happen, and you can't pull yourself out of feeling broke by not doing nothing. You got to do something. You got to take risk. You got to put that effort in. You got to move forward. And it all begins with you just acknowledging it and not forfeiting your power by blaming somebody else about it. So stop blaming, start being accountable. And, like I said, stop giving your power away. Because again, accountability is a superpower, as I've learned. It's a lot of people frown upon being accountable, or they shy away from being responsible for, let's just say, the things that they say and they do. But the more I'm leaning into it, the more I'm realizing that it's actually a superpower, because like I said, it gives you the strength to move forward. Right. Because again, you know that it's on you. You know that you ain't got to worry about somebody else, because you ain't blaming nobody else. You put it all on your shoulders.
Right.
You giving so that means that if it's all on your shoulders, and that means you have the authority You got the vision, you got, like you said, you got all of the cards in your favor to create the outcome that you want that you truly want for yourself.
Yeah.
But the more you trying to avoid that responsibility, avoid that accountability, avoid those risks, the less power you go have, because now you're waiting for somebody else to come in and save you.
Yeah.
And that's never going to happen.
No.
So you're never going to get the outcome that you truly desire.
Yeah.
So just take the risk. And in this case, when it comes to feeling broke, you want to feel wealthy, you want to feel rich. Cool. Like, there are plenty of roadmaps, frameworks to make that happen. But just learning about it, or just thinking about it, or just wanting to feel it is not going to change your feeling of brokenness. You got to take action.
And I want to direct this not so much to the younger people. Y'all get it. Y'all in your own zone. Y'all have your vices and things that, you got your phone. You can make a lot of money. But I encourage people that are older, that are already out there, that had your children, started your families. I encourage y'all to take risk.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now's the time.
It's either now or never.
Mm-hmm.
And you might think it's too late, but you might just be right on time.
Yes.
It might be just the right time for you to go ahead and do said goal, said vision, said dream, said aspiration. It just might be the right time. The field might be ready. The grass is fertile. The board is set up, and everything is ready for you to go ahead and just, and you can't look at, you starting your family and doing other things, or you went to jail, or you did a bid, or you were in a marriage, that kind of took up 15 years of your life. So what? All that is going to make whatever it is that you desire to do is going to make you that more effective and make you that more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage all the people that are like grown and out there, anybody over the age 35, if there's some things and anything, even all the way up until there's no end, even you're 60, 70, 80, if there's something you want to do, trust me, go ahead and do it. Now's the time.
And lastly, another way of working yourself out of feeling broke is just purely just taking action. You know what I'm saying? Changing it up, doing something new, getting out of your natural routine, giving your mind, giving your brain something else to think about. But giving yourself something to think about begins with you being in control of your thoughts and your imagination. So again, it's always will come back to you. You're in the driver's seat of your life, nobody else. So the more that you aren't paying attention to what's in front of you, or you're distracted by what's happening to the left and to the right of you, that's why you keep having these crash out moments in your life.
Right.
Because you're not paying attention to the road ahead. You're not planning accordingly. You feel me? So realize that being broke is 100% self-inflicted. Because the person because again, if you're feeling broke because you anticipating these rewards, because you want that dopamine hit, and then you're not getting them, and so now you thinking that you're broke because, like you said, you're just scrolling out through, Lil Tony was supposed to buy me that. No, you have the power. So put the dope down, get out the house, and go do something productive. I guarantee you, being productive will be a great prescription to eliminate all feelings of brokenness, because the more valuable you are and the more productive you are, obviously the more people are going to want to take advantage of the solution that you have for their problems, and the byproduct of that is going to be more money. You're no longer broke.
And if you don't know where to go, where to start, get one of your kids, one of your grandkids, tell them you want Chat GPT.
Yep.
And all you got to do is type in whatever it is your heart desires, and Chat GPT will give you a comprehensive roadmap to getting started, to taking the first steps. It will take you all the way to fruition. But if you're having troubles with getting started, which direction to go, where to get the resources, there's a lot of tools now with AI, Chat GPT, one of them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're that old, ask your grandkids, ask your children, the neighbor, the little kid next door that's always, knocking over your flower pot, stuff like that. Like, come here, what's this Chat GPT thing?
Right.
Ask them, tell them, it'll change your life.
And it's real simple to get started, bro. And a very basic hustle anybody can do is just reselling products. So we have tons of stuff around the house, tons of stuff in the garage. tons of stuff in these, storage areas that we paying rent on, or we just got at another property that we own. Go up in those spaces, take out the stuff that you ain't used in the last 10, 15 years and sell it. Because again, you got to learn how to sell. You got to learn how to make money. You got to learn, because that's, again, being productive, creating value. That's part, and that's going to pull you out of that feeling broke. Because another reason why people feel broke is because, again, they don't have a clear path to making more money or earning more money. So take the time, invest in self. That's your solution to eliminating the feelings of brokenness.